Oh, this is how we go down and down and down. I have reason to be concerned. Let's see, do I have my witch is, yep, my sword is wet. Best of luck to me. I just slid downstairs, that was a weird moment. Man, this is an insane location. I'm about to go Blair Witch Project and walk into a corner and you never see me again.
Actually does seem like a Wight's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here.
Don't suppose we can resolve this a little peacefully. Just a tad.
Cauldron I was looking for. Wight's not particularly tidy.
They're not particularly happy to be a Wight. I cannot... Oh, there's a stool in the way.
Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Table set. Wight who lives here is getting ready for some sort of feast. Wight that lives here, definitely afflicted by a curse. And it's been trying desperately to lift it. Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. Regis needs some brew. I'm afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron.
So somewhere around here. Oh. The wardrobe's obvious. Although I do want to take a quick look around this cave, perhaps. I'm hearing noises down there. If I want a chance of not killing this thing, this is my best chance. I don't know if we can lift the curse or not, but if I go down there, I think I'm gonna... That seems like it'd be an extra guarantee of just fighting it one-on-one and killing it.
Not gonna hurt you. Wanna help? I've seen the words of the curse on the walls. Think I know how to lift it. You tried to bring folk here, convince them to sit at the table with you, right? Well, I'm gonna be your guest now. Your willing guest. Just need a bit for Regis. And now we'll tend to you.
Oh my god, this is so gloriously creepy. I love it.
Need to get this right. Words of the curse were, none shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
I don't want to mess it up. So right off the bat, I feel like I feel like I can ignore swap spoons, because I don't see how swapping spoons would help at all, necessarily. It seems like an arbitrary Hail Mary. So then is it comes down to eating with spoons or not eating with spoons? And it seems like she probably got a lot of progress eating with spoons. She was capturing people and there's spoons everywhere. I don't think that's really going to come down to the solution. I think avoiding the spoons might be the key. But I don't have a lot to go on here.
We can't use spoons. No, that won't work. You've been looking for a spoon that would feed you, but there's no such spoon. We need to eat without spoons. Open your eyes. You need to see your likeness.
I'm guessing it's a really good thing that...
Just not quite like I expected. Need to see what happened to the Wight. Won't be hard to find given its stench.
I'm guessing it's a real good thing that Geralt's pretty much immune to poisons, because that was probably not a good time for him. He'll hopefully recover before things get worse for him. Let's cast. I'll just cast Quen every now and then, and that'll heal me up, so we won't have to worry about that. Where'd she end up? I imagine I'm hoping that this worked out, and if it worked out, they probably had to run off because they didn't want to animate a transformation. If she is turning back. Wow, she took off. She made haste. Hello? Fountain? Is it here? No? Seemed to go off in this direction a little bit. Might just be a slight side thing. Whoa. I mean, that thing looked like it probably could move fast. Oh no. Those are a lot of dogs. Oh yes, bar guests abound. Okay. Earden. Gonna try to get ready for this one. Hope. Did I not Earden? I did not Earden. I didn't select it correctly. Hey guys, don't mind me. That's not the right one. Mix up my spells a little bit. We want Axii for the mind control purposes, but also, let's see if I can apply some Spectre Oil. Come on. You're over here. Nope, I went too far. Man, this poor inventory loads so slowly. Okay, one of these is Spectre Oil. There you go. Can apply it in mid-combat, that'll help me out. Ow. I feel like you used to not be able to do that. So I feel like I used to complain about that, like, the game's all about having things like oil that can counter your character, but like you couldn't apply it during combat and often didn't know the combat was coming in advance. But I could be wrong. Oh, damn. That's effective. Beat it down. Take it out. I get out of this one, buddy. Wow, yeah. Without somebody to flank me with, they're not quite as durable, are they? Here we go. So back on the trail. Oop. Leaving our spoons behind. Plenty of sounds coming from those. Where has she gone? A little dark that it's optional to follow the stench of the white sprue. It's like, yeah, I went through all that effort, kind of turned her back. I'm just gonna leave her now.
Shh, easy. Easy, not gonna hurt you.
Eat. I must eat.
I'll take you someplace safe.
Ah, Geralt the Protector. I wonder if she's still young, or if she was cursed for so long that now she's aged too. It's hard to tell if her current form is a result of the curse or a result of how much time has passed since she was originally cursed, but she seems to be older than the original letters would have indicated.
So I took her by the hand and led her here. Seemed the only sensible place for her.
You did the right thing, sir. She should recover quickly here. I'm deeply pleased finally to make your acquaintance, sir, though I do regret the specific circumstances. In all the commotion, I fear I neglected to introduce myself. I'm Barnabas Basilfolti, and by order of the Duchess, I am to serve as your major domo at Corfo Bianco.
Nice to meet you, Barnabas Basil. Love to talk more, but got urgent matters to attend to. While I'm gone, please make sure she gets everything she needs.
Don't worry, sir. I shall see to everything. She is safe here and in good hands. She'll soon be back on her feet.
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid. Whatever brought this about?
Told me her story on the way here. Her name's Marlena. She was once the very beautiful and proud heiress to the Trastamara estate. One evening, when she was holding a banquet for friends, a beggar came to her gate seeking alms. He had a bowl and a spoon with him. He sat outside her fence and waited.
I've heard of the custom. An ancient rite of hospitality that obliges one to give food and drink to such a guest lest he depart hungry. To neglect the custom is to bring great misfortune down upon oneself.
Marlena didn't care a whit for the old customs. She drove the man off, saying she'd rather feed the leftovers from her feast to her dogs than to give the beggar anything. The beggar then broke his spoon, cast a curse. She was beautiful, so he said she'd never wish to look at herself in the mirror again. Since she adored feasts, he swore no one would ever wish to sit and dine with her. And as she even refused him the crumbs from her table, he swore she'd never find a spoon in the world that would sate her hunger.
A harsh punishment. I imagine lifting the curse was hardly simple.
Curses are tricky. They play on irony. Always gotta figure out what the catch is. Marlena had spent decades looking for a way to lift it. Transformed into a wight, she stole spoons and lured folk into her home, trying each time to get them to dine with her. Didn't work.
So what did?
Someone had to sit down and share a meal with her, of their own free will. They had to eat without using spoons and make her look at her reflection.
That's it? That was all it required?
Simplest solutions are sometimes the last that come to mind. Besides, when you're a wight, it's pretty damn hard to find willing human company for a feast.
I imagine so. But most importantly, it is now over. Please, don't worry. She will be in good hands here.
Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Kedweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cutpurse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mind giving me a little tour de Corvo Bianco?
Not in the least. Follow me, please. I think it would be practical to begin on the hill.
Also, I would like to make these glasses part of the dress code for everyone at all times, especially at night.
Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Pretty vast.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details. Follow me, please.
Been a major domo all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of major domos. My father was a major domo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great aunt?
A hard woman. It is said that already as a child, she knew where she was going and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to major domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path.
So we've made our way back to our property at long last, which I've neglected so far because it feels so unlike my character as a witcher to even own a place.
The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it's worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays.
It feels totally fitting of my character, or of Geralt in general, to only finally visit the estate he inherited, or was rewarded, when mandatory.
Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
Sounds coming up. Bit more progress there.
Down below lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, it provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes. Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days. Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Bolius ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda.
Something has gone horribly wrong when your preacher's visions come from mostly just a drunken stupor at a party. There was a grand misstep, and I hope he wasn't convincing to people.
Monsieur Bolius' wife Nina kept a garden here. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation.
This game has a staggeringly beautiful sunrise, by the way. Especially since this is happening in real time. Like in a game like Dark Souls, it's at least, like in Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne and stuff like that, there's time of day changes, but they're all, like, pre-made individual moments. This is a continuous change. That's amazing. The subtle lighting difference that happens over the course of the entire world, all the way down to that real-time experience of like having a torch out to see because it's a little too dark, and then slowly putting it away because this is happening. Even watching the clouds drift across the sky. It's fantastic. All these little details. It's weird to have Geralt on property. The last place that he'd call home was a place that he and all of his kin had basically abandoned.
Madame Nina planted diminutive, delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
Major Domo Barnabas Basil.
Even a horse drops if you ride it at a constant gallop.
Hi? Who are you? Oh, you guys all came out of nowhere. You weren't here a moment ago.
Hello? Yes?
So these must be the servants or the local workers?
Good day.
I guess the sun came up, so they all just came out and started working. It was a bit of a surprise. I thought somebody was showing up as part of the scripted event to discuss things with us. Or maybe even... I don't even just like try to steal from the place for all I know. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. Yep. I fully expect a lifetime of shitty apartments, so that's a crazy view.
This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
Who would have thought? Knights trading in wine, while some witcher guards the common folk.
At this point, I expect some kind of like wild walk, just some great evil just to come
The
back.
cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolus's time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which...
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
Something's in the wind.
Like, the wild march is gonna just reawaken purely to just trash my new home. I mean, the wild hunt. Sorry, name of the game. Come on.
As you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained. But one cannot deny it, a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
Subtle paint. That's my favorite color. Subtle paint. It's like hashtag FFF012. I have no idea what color that is.
And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corfo Bianco is a beautiful estate. Though one must admit, time has taken its toll. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any remodeling. Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Might as well see what we can do with some of these stuff. Let's see. We can go on the grounds and the house. Maybe start with the grounds? I don't really know what to expect from here.
Got these spacious grounds. But maybe it's time to make them more... useful.
Oh, yes. We certainly should. The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be wise to put in a grindstone and an armorer's table. A good way to start things off, don't you think?
Things are getting useful pretty fast here. Stuff I can use on my equipment. Alright. Let's start with swords, because my weapons constantly degrade to the point where it hurts their damage output, which is the greatest defense I have, because my armor doesn't do that much to keep me alive.
In my trade, my blades get dull pretty quick. Could use a grindstone, professional grade.
Of course. No one would consider that an unnecessary extravagance, I would wager.
Then send out for one, please. A high-quality stone to be set up in the yard.
Of course. I shall send a runner to town at once. I believe you shall be grinding to your heart's content by tomorrow. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
My armor needs work from time to time. You know, oil this, reinforce that. Could use a decent work table where I could do all that.
Admiral Rompali once hired a specialist who made the finest armorer's tables this side of the Yeruga. I will contact him at once.
Good. Order me up a table like that.
Immediately, sir. I expect it will take at most 1 day to arrive. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
Been thinking about the outer walls. Maybe a fresh coat of paint or some patching.
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Admiral Rompeli's summer residence. The effects were simply breathtaking. Not only did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons, of which he was a passionate collector.
Ooh, 5,000 is a lot more. For the most part, I'm thinking, let's just dive in and see how things go, but I'm a little concerned about 5,000. I have to double check what my actual value is, and I can't do that from here.
Need to think it over some.
I understand, of course. As the venerable Lady Eve Knibley would so quaintly put it, the rash oft contract rashes.
Know what? Changed my mind. Not in the mood to talk about redecoration today. But I wanted to ask you something else.
I shall be glad to answer your every question, sir.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.
Out of topics to cover for now. Let's do a quick review of... Oh, I have 10 grand. Or 11 grand, actually. Not bad. I could use more if I'm going to start spending stuff at that scale. Got a stash locally. That's nice to have, too. I'm going to go ahead and meditate briefly. Because the briefest meditation means I'll get my potions back. And I'm a little tired of looking at this, fringe of sadness. Oh yeah, meditating gets rid of my potion too, never mind. I was getting ready to use white honey just to get rid of the constant green glare in my vain face. Alright, so in 1 day I'll get an armorer's table, and we can keep working on restoring Corvo Bianco, which I'm sure we will over the course of this expansion, because I'll try to do pretty much everything I can find. But, while we're here, I want to follow up on something else. I have returned, for I am owed a great debt.
Master Witcher, spare me a wee moment.
What is it?
Got your coin, sir. And a wee gift to thank you for the trust you showed. This blade's the Reckoner. It saved my arse a fair number of times.
Thanks, Cianfanelli. We'll call it even.
One last thing. I'd like to apologise for the whole mingin' kerfuffle.
Ah, 500 is just honestly not that much in the grand scheme of things. That's half of an upgrade. It takes me up to 12k at the very least. It's something. Just with all the build-up and waiting for a week, I just kind of thought there'd be more to it. What about this weapon, though? The Reckoner. Compared to my current steel sword, it does 100 more damage. Is that because my current one's damaged? No, my current one's maxed out. It just does 100 more damage by default. Armor piercing, crit damage bonus, chance of causing bleeding. Has a slot for a bonus too. Could plop like 5 sign intensity in there if I wanted to. It does not have the base level of sign intensity that my current sword has, and of course would only be used against other. It would only be used against other humans, which is when I need swords the least in general, because I can just blow them away. Meanwhile, it might be worth a lot. Oh yeah, actually yes, the sword itself is worth almost twice as much as what I got for the quest. Do I have a bonus right now from this set? Witcher gear is 0 out of 6. Items need to be upgraded to Grandmaster level to unlock bonuses. Oh, there we go. So as I upgrade these, I'll gain these bonuses. Once 3 pieces of my set are upgraded, we get, after using stamina to cast a sign in its standard mode, the next sign cast within 3 seconds will be cast in standard mode without using stamina. Huh. Does that mean I can just use Igni twice in a row for free? Or I can use maybe back-to-back go Quen Igni really fast without having to wait for the stamina meter? I'm not sure. Then the full set will be the size of Earden traps is increased by 40%. While you're within the Earden trap, stamina regeneration is increased by 5 per second, and in sign intensity by 100%, and damage is reduced by 20%. Damn! I already like Earden, but being able to make them huge, especially if I re-equip that one upgrade that makes me use 2 of them at a time, that'd be a really big deal.